Yeah, thank you, Mr. Radwan. Thank you for all attendees. Hello, everyone. Special hello to you, Yusra, since it has been a while that we didn't see each other. Um, yeah, actually, brief introduction of my father, Ghazi Chaouachi. He's a lawyer, still a lawyer, even if he's in prison, because he's helping and working together with all his lawyers on this case and other cases, since he's faced by three cases: one of Decree 54, one other. That I cannot translate it. ارتكابة مرموحش. Even in Arabic, it's so complicated to understand it. And the third one, which is known, it's the plot or conspiracy against the internal security of the state. Ghazi
ارتكاب
Shawish
امر
is,
موحش probably
yeah,
means insulting the president. Is that
yeah,
yeah?
maybe
Okay.
yes, yeah,
Okay.
insulting. Even we cannot, we are not able to insult anyone when we are on the TV show or the radio. But okay, let's consider it as it. He is the next MP. He's the next minister, even for a while in 2020, with the government of Elyes for 6 months, and he's the ex general secretary of At-Tayyar political party, and he quit the party in January, and he was January 2023, and he was arrested in February 2023. So yeah, today with a heavy heart, as at each time, at each webinar, at each conference, uh, we have as a family great concern regarding this arrest did in happened in February 25th of last year, 2023. So today it's up to 14 months and 12 days of my father arrest and several other political prisoners as Abdel Hamid Jlasi, Rida Abul Haj, Aysam Shebi, Khayyam Turki, Jawhar bin Barak, that they had charges of terrorism and other penal charges, which is, for me, it's really absurd to think that my father, who is a peaceful political party activist, would ever conspire to harm the state or its leaders. Actually, in my opinion, the accusations of plotting to assassinate the president and possessing explosives are completely baseless and without any evidence, of course. Actually, the situation today, it's from a way so ridiculous, but also extremely dangerous, unfortunately. My father and other prisoners are facing 17 terrorist charges that could lead them to the death penalty. I implore you to review their case, which is already published in all the media, even Facebook, and ensure that justice is served. Actually, the politically motivated attack since the coup of Qais Said in July 2021 is still dissenting voices, and it's imperatively political more than judicial. Today, as Mr. Abdelrazak described, the judges are working under the fear and and under the blackmailing of the Minister of Justice, who is Laila Jafal, and what we can say today, that the situation presents a significant challenge for this regime who is making a crucial environment, and I'm with in this webinar, probably it's already recorded, so I can say to the Tunisian people, that all of you need to take action to rectify this grave injustice and uphold of principle of democracy and freedom of speech that we are living in today in our country. Actually, we will not rest until our fathers and the other prisoners are released and justice is served automatically. We need to fight for it. We need to not keep it going like this. We cannot standardize with those repressions. And I think if no resolution is reached, we will not hesitate to pursue legal actions against this regime, authoritarian regime, in international courts, as we already started with Yusra, with Kauthar Ferjani, daughter of Said Ferjani. As well, this flagrant abuse of power cannot go unchecked, and we will remain fighting for the rights of our loved ones until they are freed. And not only our loved ones, like our parents, but also for all other political prisoners that we are not, that they are different than us, but in those kinds of situation that we can challenge people if they have principles, if they have value or not. For example, I can defend Rashid Ghannouchi, obviously, Ali Al-Arayed, Mohammed Bughaleb, and even Abir Musi or Riyad bin Fadl. They are all unjustly incarcerated today. As well, I'm speaking today to share the unbearable burden that my family has been carrying, even since my father was unjustly incarcerated 15 months ago, almost. This situation has plunged us into deep despair. I cannot hide it, of course, as my father sits behind bars, suffering from worsening health conditions such as cervical arthros, osteo, osteoarthritis, maybe, and high cholesterol. Those
Arthritis.
yeah, those things my father didn't have it before being in the jail, but now he's suffering from worsening health conditions, unfortunately. In addition to my father imprisonment, my mother, who works as a judge, has been facing a repression. She is a judge since 36 years. So she has been facing repression in her workplace. Her job has become a constant source of stress and fear for the whole family as she navigates the challenges of being the wife of political prisoner. As for myself, of course, I have been sentenced to 3 years in prison already last January because I've ارتكاب مرموحش against the president, insult or criticize the president when I made an intervention in a TV show by phone at the التاسعة. So they have sentenced me of 3 years or condemned me of 3 years of prison. But hopefully that I'm here. So I've been forced to stay here in France, and now I'm living in exile abroad. And I didn't see my family since almost 3 years today, and especially didn't see my father or hear his voice, or even I cannot read his letters because he's classified as terrorist, so he cannot even read books or write letters and send it out of the prison. The separation from my family has been heartbreaking, obviously, and we are determined to stay strong and united despite the distance that separates us. Today our family is scattered and torn apart, but we continue to fight for justice and hold on to hope that my father and all other comrades needs to be released. We refuse to let the circumstances break us, and we draw on strength from each other's love and support. We pray, of course, for the day for when my father, Ghazi Chaouachi, will be released for his unlawful detention, but we are still keeping being proud on him. And we are quite sure that my father psychological health or status today is better than other people who are sleeping in the castle. What else? Today, we all need help from you, from all friends, and even all people who are believing that we cannot live in a different way than democracy in Tunisia, and we cannot skip all the democratic process that we initiated since afterward the revolution of 2011. My father, as you know, has detained unjustly by the current regime for because he criticized Qais Said directly, and he defend the freedom of expression and all other freedom that Tunisian must have. The regime is still fabricating political cases against anyone who dares to criticize it. It including trade unionists, politicians, businessmen, judges, journalists, and all other activists. No one is safe from its wrath. It's a racist. With evidences, of course, we not go into details on it. It's a populist with its speeches, fascist, and he's learning from Giorgia Meloni, by the way, and still a failed regime on the economic and social and even diplomatic sides. So this regime, since 3 years today, governing alone, didn't make any success to the Tunisian people. This regime has dismantled all the structures that we have built over the past decade after the revolution, except the organization of presidency, obviously. Today, anyone who dares to speak out against this regime is accused of plotting against it. As Mr. Abdelrazak described it, in 1 year and a half, we have more than 14 cases of plots or conspiracy against the security of state. We have seen those cases, and it was really funny to read each case separately, but it's still been extremely dangerous because this regime is supported by the army and by the police, of course. We are reaching out today as a family to all Tunisian people for support, of course, in our fight for justice and freedom. Our family obviously is tired, but will not give up until our father is released and the oppressive regime is brought down. That's our goal. Our goal is not to release Ghazi Chaouachi. Ghazi Chaouachi is one example of, I don't know, 15 or over 100 other persons. Our goal is to brought down this regime of Qais Said. So all Tunisian people may and must help, which could make the union, and we can be united to make a significant difference in our struggle. In addition, today, more than 520 lawyers, including 6 deans, and thanks Mr. Abdelrazak who signed on this petition as well. In 24 hours, we collect 520 lawyer signatures to call for the release of their fellow lawyers, Ghazi Chaouachi and Rida Belhaj, who is my uncle, by the way, who are arbitrarily detained, and their arrest has exceeded the legal 14 months mentioned by the law. So today they are considered as kidnapped, not even incarcerated. And we call on all lawyers to participate in the strike planned tomorrow at the court by the lawyers organization in Tunis, the capital, in order to put pressure on the release of those lawyers, Ghazi and Rida. I want to underline last thing, saying that bad things happen only to others. Like we said in French, ça n'arrive qu'aux autres. No, it's not true. This is a lie. C'est un mensonge. Do not trust it. No one is immune because the machine of repression of Qais Said swallows everyone. And if this regime will remain governing, I don't hope it, of course, but if it happens, all even the Zaqafna, even the people who are supporting this regime will be swallowed by this repression machine. So with a heartfelt gratitude to all friends, to you, Mr. Radwan Masmoudi, to Human Rights Watch, to all other organizations, Camarade and other political activists who are supporting us. Thank you. I would take advantage of this webinar to thank them. We need to keep it going together with all our difference, but with all our belief on freedom and justice. We can support during these dark times and overcome this pain. Thank you for taking time to listen to me and to our family plea.